Well, he is legendary, he is ruthless, he is the former UFC welterweight champion Robbie Lawler, and after taking most of 2018 off due to injury, he still believes that he can make a run at this welterweight title. Tonight figures to be an opportunity for him to try to prove as much.
Every time Robbie Lawler steps in the octagon, he's got one thing in his mind. It's making his way back to a UFC welterweight championship. Right. He has a ton of ability, great knockout power, crisp, sharp boxing, but don't forget about the kicks of Robbie Lawler. As we saw against Bobby Volker way back when he got back into the UFC, he has the ability to put guys out in a number of ways. He's finished fights by knockouts, he's won decisions, he's done everything. Robbie Lawler is a true legend.
And if you're one of those fans who was watching in May of 2002 when he made his UFC debut against Aaron Riley at UFC 37, you know just how beloved by the MMA masses ruthless Robbie Lawler is. Proudly repping Killcliff FC and the Institute of Human Performance, here is the welterweight contender, Gilbert Burns. Realized a lot of success at 155 pounds before moving up, but certainly most would argue we have seen the best out of Gilbert Burns at 170 pounds.
Well, he doesn't have to deal with the weight cut anymore. He was a big 55-pounder, maybe a little small at 170, but his skill set translates, and it really does work in his division. He is a high-level jiu-jitsu guy, but it's his striking that has impressed me the most. The improvements he has made down in South Florida allow for him to not only compete with the best, but to earn victories most times he goes in there.
You're absolutely right. Made his UFC debut back in 2014, challenged for the title in 2021. A lot of fans believe he'll get back there. Gilbert Burns, set to fight ruthless Robbie Lawler. And now our tale of the tape for this welterweight championship fight. And now to get us started, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC welterweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, presenting the challenger, ruthless Robbie Lawler. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the reigning, defending UFC welterweight champion of the world, Gilbert
Herb Dean, all referee for this one. All right, early round action here, and all eyes once again are on Gilbert Burns, the world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and yet oftentimes he says no takedowns, he just wants to strike, and that seems to be the focus here tonight. He wants to get into a kickboxing match, he wants to prove his striking acumen, and candidly, if you've looked at his recent body of work, Gilbert Burns is one of the better strikers in this welterweight division. And there's a takedown attempt. All right, so ruthless Robbie Lawler, one of the best to ever do it, former UFC welterweight champion. And if you got extra points for mean mugging, this guy would lead the league, man.
Big shot to the head. What a beautiful body kick. Fight behind a nice jab.
Well, he's looking for that left hand, just out of range, though, with it.
Great job moving into his opponent and getting to that single collar tie.
And they separate after exiting the clinch. Lawler Lawler's elbow attempt here. That one blocked by the defense. Well, he keeps going back to the well with that left hand, just out of range. All right, here we go. Early round action featuring the well-rounded Gilbert Burns. He opens with a leg kick here.
And that's one of his best weapons. He throws that leg kick to try to make you rush. And then when you rush, he goes into his takedown. Gilbert Burns is a high-level grappler, but he has developed great Muay Thai skill, and it's on full display right now.
All right, so we'll see what sort of defensive response ensues here. He's taken a lot of shots upstairs, and the swelling is there to prove it.
Got to keep those hands up. Might want to employ a high guard to try to ensure that the guy's not landing on those spots, because the swelling's starting now. It's light. And if he takes many more of these types of shots, it's going to get real bad.
Durinho gets back up. Oh, and there's that ruthless Robbie Lawler right hand. You do not want to get hit with too many of those.
Nah, man, this is a dog. Robbie Lawler is a flat-out dog. A guy that's willing to fight anybody, protect his yard. I am a massive fan of ruthless Robbie Lawler.
And a nice job at least staying upright on that.
I give one, I take one. You give one, you take one. That's how this fight is being played out. Nice.
Stuffs the takedown, no problem. And now some separation. Past the 2-minute mark in round one. Oh, he's staying busy here, connecting with a barrage of punches. Oh, well, he's had his striking on point tonight, and as evidence, some swelling now on his opponent.
Yeah, light swelling right now. But if he doesn't address it immediately, it'll turn to something much worse.
Well, DC famously said Gilbert Burns fallen in love with that knockout life, and tonight really having his way in the striking department.
And he's fallen in love with it because this guy's a grappler, or he was known as a grappler. But when you find that thing, man, when you get that first knockout, it can be so sweet. And right now you see a Gilbert Burns who is fallen in love with knockouts and has the ability to go and chase him down. What a performance tonight by Durinho.
Oh, nice job by Robbie Lawler, training now at Hard Knocks 365. Henry Hooft has tried to simplify his striking a little bit. Tommy Barzini on the wrestling side. Don't close the book on Lawler making another run to championship contention. Under a minute now to go in the opening round. As effective as straight punches, we've seen all that. Huge straight, and that'll do it! Robbie Lawler with one of the greatest knockouts you will see!
Holy.
Here once more, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 11 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout and new undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, Ruthless Robbie Lawler.
While the love of the game remains there in earnest for the former UFC welterweight champion, Robbie Lawler gets a big win here tonight and still loves to compete, and he certainly showed you as much tonight.
He's a throwback fighter, one of those guys that was there back in the day, right? Big power, big strong, big durable guy that just loves to fight. Tonight, it's good to see Robbie Lawler get his hand raised.